Hello and welcome to Eternal MMA Insiders, episode 6. This week, it's just me and Cam. We're going to delve deeply into Cam's past today. So it's not for the faint of hearted. But basically, after what? So 8 years or whatever of being in 9 years of being in this game together, I was going to say. I feel like we've never really got to what Cam Oneill about, where Cam Oneill came from. And I think that's what the people desire to know.
Came from the scheme, mate.
Hey?
The scheme. I came from the scheme.
Scheme.
Check it out on YouTube.
Build a fuckwit scheme it was back in the day, 1970s.
That's the roots of the scheme. Check out the scheme on YouTube.
So basically, we'll go back a little bit. Like, I think most people who listen to this podcast would have an idea of your recent history. Yeah. So the last 5 years or so, 9 years for those that have been doing the shows with you since then. So I want to go first of all, let's go way back into Kilmarnock, like back in the day. Tell people a little bit about your background, where you came from, what it was like growing up in Scotland, and how you transitioned to, one, how you got into martial arts. All right, obviously being from Scotland, you have to be able to fight. And two, unless you're from Edinburgh. And then two, that's how to alienate some Scottish people. And two, then tell us how you ended up in sunny Australia.
Well, first of all, I don't mind alienating the East Coast. They're all English wannabes anyway, so we'll just clear that up nice and early. So yeah, I was born and bred in the west coast of Scotland back in 1973. Grew up in a town in Ayrshire called Kilmarnock, which is about a 20-minute drive outside of Glasgow. Both my parents were from Glasgow, and moved out into the suburbs, into Kilmarnock. I grew up there throughout the 70s and 80s. Left school in 1989 and was originally a car mechanic to trade. But no, growing up, probably around about 7 or 8 years old, I started judoing. There was not a lot of martial arts clubs in Scotland. In Kilmarnock at the time when I was a youngster, you had two choices: you had boxing or you had judo. There was probably a few. Yeah, there would have been a few karate clubs as well when I was back around about that age, but I wasn't really aware of them. My dad pushed me into going to a judo club, which was down at Scott Ellis playing fields down the bottom end of the town, just off the Queen's Drive. And what was very uncommon for the time was they had their own building as well. The judo club, it was a standalone building down there, and went to judo for a couple of years as a kid, which, growing up in the area I grew up in, where everybody else in the street was outside playing football from the sun come up to the sun went down, it was a bit of a run of the gauntlet from my house to the car in my pyjamas. To go to judo, I copped a fair bit of stick as a youngster doing that. It definitely wasn't very, very cool or fashionable for kids in the late 70s or early 80s in Kilmarnock to be going wearing pyjamas and cuddling other men and throwing them about, other boys. And
just for those that are listening, when you say football, you mean soccer, right? So to us, football is soccer. And Scotland, obviously soccer, football, we'll call it football, is very big over there. And then you said about the standalone thing. I'm guessing that most clubs were in sports halls or community halls or...
Back then, most clubs were still putting down mats every night, and then pulling them back up off the floor at the end of the night. It was in in school halls or the Grand Hall, council buildings, things like that. There was the judo club. Can't even remember the name of it. The judo club was the only place at a standalone building, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my first foray into martial arts, and I've done that for a good few years.
Did you grade in it, or did you just?
Yeah, I did grade in it. It was, I think it would have been kids belts then as well. I think I got to blue. I can remember being yellow, orange, blue. You know, so it was very different to the jiu-jitsu grade, you know, white, blue, purple, brown, black, etc. So, and obviously with me being so young, I went through the yellows and the oranges and the blue. So that was my intro to martial arts. But you know, saying that as well, with all the kids out playing football, was really my first love as a sport. I played football as a youngster at a very high level for a very high level for a non-professional for a long time. And as a kid, you know, I played for some very good teams, and that used to distract me from basically any other sport that I wanted to do. When I stopped doing judo, I did start boxing for a little while. There was a boxing club in on Thank that I went to for a little while. I'm trying to think if it was on Thank or out in Hill, but no, it was in between the two areas anyway. So I went to boxing for a while, and then basically, as a lot of the Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, etc., started coming out, kickboxing was the cool thing to do, and there was a Chinese kickboxing club opened up in the town, so I went and joined that. I probably joined that at 13 or 14 years old, and I was actually still doing it up until the day that I left to come to Australia.
What did you do? Like, did you get into much drama? Like, were you roaming about the streets causing havoc, or were you a good kid?
I was a good kid, but I couldn't stop getting into drama. I got into drama everywhere I went. I'm not going to get into it too far, but west coast of Scotland, there's a fair bit of intolerance amongst certain people, so there was always a little bit of drama, and there wasn't a great deal to do when I was growing up either. We all stood about in the street corners or hang about outside the amusement arcades or outside pizza and kebab shops, and caused a little bit of strife. Football hooliganism was obviously a very big thing in the mid to late 80s, and yeah, used to go to football on a Saturday, etc. So yeah, no, look, I was a good kid, but boys will always be boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like a scrap. You know,
You're a product of your environment as well, right? So if you grow up and everyone's doing the same thing, then it's just normal. It's not even abnormal to you to do that, I'm assuming.
Yeah, no, it's something that probably when I came to Australia, I started realising that what I thought was normal and what I thought was acceptable behaviour really isn't. You know, it's not. And I've probably came a long way as a person to bring myself back in line with what's expected in 2020 in modern society. But no, look, I was a bit of a tearaway, but you know, never done anything too bad. I'm just the exact same as what everybody else my age in the same area was doing. You know, got into my fair share of scraps, and I've got all the scars to prove it. Probably got a lot of stories to tell about it as well, but none that will be good on here for obvious reasons. But we used to go out in little groups, you know, the groups that went to the football, we'd go to the pubs at night as well, we'd go to the nightclubs as well together, and when you stepped outside your town, just simply because of the association with the football team that you went to see, people would recognise you straight away in other towns and kick off as well. So, yeah, it was.
What did your parents think of it all? I mean, were they like hard-working, like blue-collar?
Yeah, well, my parents are both obviously grew up in Glasgow and very blue-collar. My dad was a union shop steward for a long time in a factory. You know, so they're as hard working and blue collar as you could get. Very fair, very decent people. But yeah, on more than one occasion they had to come bail me out of some little places. In fact, there's a funny story where they actually even had to come and collect me from we were on holiday in Austria, and I managed to get arrested in Austria as well. So That was that wasn't my finest moment. I was 15 years old. Couldn't speak a word of Austrian. The Austrian cops couldn't speak a word of English. And there I was, me and one of my mates, who's now sadly passed away maybe 20 years ago now. Both banged up for punching on with a couple of Austrian guys that we thought were trying to steal the girlfriends that we picked up for that night. Little did we know that it turned out that these two Austrian guys that were trying to pick up the girlfriends that we had attached ourselves to that evening were actually the girlfriend's dads come to collect them and take them home. So,
oh dear.
Yeah, that was an interesting story. But there's lots of stories like that.
Yeah, but that's just growing up.
Exactly. It's just growing up.
Not too much harm done, you know, like in the grander scheme of things.
They went into the country, so there couldn't have been that much harm done.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we're about 13, 14 now. We're doing Chinese kickboxing, is it?
Yeah, so I was doing a formal Laugar kickboxing, so that was good. We used to travel about and compete in that at least once a month, maybe even a couple of times a month. We'd go down as far as even down in Bristol. I remember going down to Bristol and fighting in Bristol, down there and all over Scotland, so that was good. But round about, I don't know, maybe round about 1997, 98, started being aware of UFC and MMA. Really wanted to give Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu a go, but there was nowhere in Scotland. I couldn't find anyone in Scotland that done it. Around about 2000, there was a guy over in Edinburgh, Rick. Can't remember his second name now. You've mentioned him before, Rick. Oh, can't remember. But he had a club over in. He didn't even have a club. He was doing private lessons. I think he was only a blue belt as well at the time. And I got him one of the old combat magazines in the classified section. This guy that was given privates over there. Never ever managed to go over and get one, so I decided to join a Japanese jiu-jitsu club down at the Wasabama down in here, and started doing that at the same time as I was doing the kickboxing, and was doing that as well right up until I left to come to Australia. But from about the age of 13, I was my head was in the clouds, you know. All I done was play football and kickbox and hang about with my mates and everything like that. Everybody had been blowing smoke up my arse as a kid, telling me that I was a professional footballer, and always the teams talking to me and interested in me. But I used to think that it was my attitude that never ever get the side, but it was clearly my ability that never got the side. Obviously, it wasn't good enough, or they would have put up with the attitude. So at 16 years old, I left school and had to go and become an apprentice motor mechanic.
It's people. I don't know. I guess it's like the AFL over here on steroids, though. But because only a very small percentage of the massive population are ever going to make it in that sport. Exactly. It's such a hard sport to make it in.
Exactly. You know, and I had plenty of trials, and I had teams wanting to sign S forms and things like that. But being as stubborn and as big-headed as I was back then, I thought I would wait for the team that I wanted to sign for, and of course it never ever happened, and I would never have made it anyway. But it just showed how far I get distracted from actually academical studies and things like that. I thought I'd be able to get off the back of playing football. So
can you still fix cars? Like you still? I guess they've changed a lot, haven't they, since?
Yeah, what cars have? Yeah, the electronics, obviously, and the electrical components in cars went nuts. But the basic mechanical tasks I can do pretty straightforward. The likes of recently I've been helping my mate Julian and Gold Coast Generators out and doing a lot of service on the diesel motors and everything for him. And when I was in Australia, I was a mechanical fitter on a desalination plant for a long time as well. So basically anything at all to do with mechanical, I turn my hand to pretty well.
Yeah, that's good. They're putting up cages too, by all accounts.
Yeah, fuck, I don't even like doing that. I managed to get that job every single time.
Yeah.
Coronavirus is actually probably given me my biggest break from building cages since 2006 or 2007. You know,
Yeah.
When we got here at Australia at first, and Vince Perry used to rent out his cage. He had a little cage. The one that we ended up renting all the time off of Ricky.
Oh yeah.
He used to rent it to all the promotions that were going on back then. And for a short at a free ticket, I would turn up and put it up as well, just to get in for nothing. And that was a good little crew of us went about doing it. So.
Yeah, you're very good at it, thank God, because we have to do it more than you'd imagine as promoters. You know, like.
Look, people don't make it easy for me as well. You know, some people have attempted to put it up before for me and fucking abandoned it halfway through and put parts on upside down, and you know, people have made it difficult. I've always managed to get it fucking fixed in time.
Yeah, it's one of my least favourite parts. I mean, I love pretty much every aspect of promoting MMA shows, but putting up the cage can eat a fat dick.
The only thing worse than putting up a cage is probably overhauling a cage. That fortnight that me and Sean Powers spent rewiring the cage that we use at the moment and modifying it slightly was just a fucking nightmare. It was. I think the house that I was living in at the time will never ever be the same. There will be so much red dust from us grinding constantly out there. It was, yeah.
Yeah, I was glad to be in WA, so I couldn't help you with that, to be honest.
When we looked at it at first, we thought it wasn't going to be a big job, and then 2 weeks later, I was getting very close to just not fucking finishing it. You know?
Yeah, you done well with that. So,
well, the good thing is, I think it was our duty of care to do it. We noticed there's a couple of pieces on the cage wire itself where the plastic coating had become brittle, and it hadn't come off, but it cracked, and it was causing the areas where people could get scratched if they were up against. Now, I don't think it would have been deep scratching on their body, but it's definitely, you know, we're asking people to take enough risks, putting them in cages anyway, with another human being standing 4 meters across from them. You know, when the referee starts a fight, 8 meters across from them, when the referee starts a fight looking to harm them, the last thing that they need is to be harmed when they get pressed up against the cage. And I think the thing that clinched it for me is I was at a show up in Brisbane, and one of the boys up there, Darren Harbin, was in a fight, and I remember it quite vividly. Right at the start of the fight, he was pushed up against the cage and dragged to the ground, and his arm caught in a rough bit in the cage, you know, and a fairly deep cut right down his arm. The fight had to get stopped because of it, and you know, he lost a decision based upon a cut that he got on the cage. Just that when he hit the ground and he realised he had a big cut, which was obviously bleeding a lot. He balled up, and the referee stopped the fight, and you know, that was an injury that he would not have got if the cage was good working order. So at that point, we thought, look, we have to change the wiring on it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess people don't really want to hear about our cage woes, even though they should, because the amount of headaches we get from it. But anyway, moving on. So
we've got an hour to fill here. I can tell you all about the cage.
We don't want to lose listeners. We want to encourage them to listen more. So you're a mechanical apprentice now at 16.
Yeah, so I'm apprentice mechanic. I've done that till served my time, fully qualified, and then I worked there till 21 or 22 years old. 22 years old, I think it was. And then I left and I went to work in GlaxoSmithKline Pharmaceutical Company down in Irvine. And I stayed there until I left to come to Australia, which was one of the things when I did hand in my notice to leave there. You know, everybody thought I was joking because it was one of their jobs for life. You know, they're throwing unbelievable. The position that I'd worked my way into, they were throwing unbelievable amounts of money at you, as well as benefits and, you know, fantastic save schemes and medicals and good holidays and stuff like that. But you know, my heart was set to come to Australia at that time. I'd been here on holiday in March of 2005, just for 12 days. I'd come out for a look, and I went home and basically just put in progress the application to emigrate, and I was here in December of the 2005.
Wow.
Just like most things, I don't really fuck about.
And what age did the kids come about? You got two girls.
Yeah, 4 and 7. The girls come over at 4 and 7, which I feel was a good age for them to come over because they can both still remember Scotland, but you know they've had the benefit of growing up in Australia. I think we touched on it the other day. With Eric Uresk, you know, and Eric pointed it out. You know, Australia's fucking so safe and such a good place to bring up children.
Yeah, 100%.
The difference in bringing up children in Australia to bringing them up in the west coast of Scotland, it takes them away from a lot of issues that they'd be experiencing daily. Well, there's still problems in Australia, you know, no matter what. But it's minute compared to
night and day. Yeah, it's night and day. But I'm like interested. What was it like being a young dad? Like, obviously, I'm at the flip side, so I'm just now embarking on parenthood. You know, I've got a 4-year-old and a 7-month-old at 40. And you were quite the opposite. What age were you when you had Casey?
23 when I had Casey.
That's a fairly young dad. I mean,
well, yeah, as these days, and you know, but you know, in fact, the boy that I was telling you the story about, I was in Austria with, he's a perfect example. I think he had his first at 15 and he'd had 4 by the time he was 20. So, you know.
Wow.
You know.
That's insane.
It's, yeah, I don't know. I think
it is what it is. I mean, I guess you don't know any other way, do you?
Exactly. You know, I remember when my ex-wife came out of hospital, you know, and I think the nurses had actually said to her after it, you know, that she was quite an old mum compared to everybody else, you know, and she was like 23 years old.
Yeah. Didn't you make prams in arts and crafts at school and stuff?
No, we made chips. Chips and arts and crafts.
Oh, well.
All types of ones.
Tried them out on the weekend.
Yeah, I even made them up out of rolled up newspapers and sellotape. An Aberdeen brick. But yeah, so look, being a young dad it was good, you know, like it's just what I'd done, you know, it was just, I had kids, I still done everything that I'd done, I still went to football, I had a good circle round about me, my sister, my mum and dad, my ex-wife's sister, her dad, you know, everybody helped look out for the kids. Then when we moved over to Australia, that support network was gone, really. So, yeah, it was different then, but I wasn't doing everything that I was doing in Scotland when I got to Australia. When I was in Scotland, I wasn't home at night. I was out every single night. You know, I was out Monday to Thursday night. I was out at training, whether it be jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, or playing football with the boys. And then Friday and Saturday night, I was out with the boys. So when we moved over to Australia, you know, I was at home every night. So, pardon me, or just about every night, most nights.
Yeah. Yeah, and whereabouts did you settle in Australia?
Yeah, on the Gold Coast, obviously. You know, I've lived here since the day that I arrived in Australia, and I was up the north end of the Gold Coast, and I've spent most of my time in the north end of the Gold Coast, which is quite ironic because I prefer the southern end of the Gold Coast, but I've never moved down there yet, so you never know. We'll see what happens.
It's all about the money, right?
But it's not just that. I like the fact that I can get to Brisbane pretty easily, you know, and I can still head to down south. Whereas if I lived down south, I probably would never ever venture north. And not so much now that we've started doing electronic ticketing, but when we started off at first, man, I would be for like 3 weeks in a row. I would be driving every single night, going and dropping off tickets and posters and picking tickets up. And the accessibility being next to the motorway in the north end of the Gold Coast, so I could get to as far as like the north side of Brisbane, or get as far south as Mullumbimby, etc. You know, not pretty easily, but you know, not too extreme.
Yeah. My question would be then, because we're kind of like, we're almost up to speed. So we're 2005, you moved here, and then 2011, you put on your first MMA show?
Yeah, well, look, when I moved over here at first, I was going to do one right off the bat. Around about 2006, I was looking at doing one. I was training at Fight Club, just jiu-jitsu at that time with Daniel Lima. And, I kept pestering him at that point in time. I kept pestering him, I want to fight MMA. Never ever did. Then I started putting in process. I was going to look to do a show. I thought, fuck, I'll just do a show. But then we had the Royal Pines, the shooting at the Royal Pines, and the police decided that, you couldn't do an MMA or even a Thai show without a stupid amount of cops at it. And it basically just made it impossible to run. There was a few people still trying to do shows, and a few people went under back then trying to do shows, just because of the police presence that was required. And yourself, the price of them, I think they were like $120 an hour per cop. Back then, it's went up a little bit. I think it's maybe $140 or something an hour now. But back then, it was still $120 an hour per cop, and you needed a car, and I can't even remember how much it was. I think they needed 10 cops at the show.
Ah.
It was just ridiculous. You just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So the plan went on the back burner for a little while, and I just concentrated in training as well. So I travelled about a little bit. We'd done a few jiu-jitsu competitions, and then 2007 I stopped for a little while because I'd been back to Scotland for extended periods a couple of times through family illness. And then I moved back, I come back to Australia, and it was just too far for me to go down to Mermaid to keep training jiu-jitsu. So I joined Puma in Southport around about that time. And I've been at Puma basically ever since. Puma Southport probably shut down around about the 2012. So I was maybe in there for 4 or 5 years, and then moved down to Burley to Puma down there with Vince.
Cool. Yeah, good spot, Puma. They
the fucking at the time I joined, and some of the boys coming through. Look, at a lot of real good times. There was some real good guys there. Spent a lot of time, with obviously Tim Moore, Shane Wonder, Darren Wagner. There was some real good guys that had a good laugh.
Yeah. That's what a gym should be, So it's not only a place to train, but that's where you meet your mates, and
Exactly.
Especially being from a different place as well. It's always a good way of. I've found like I've bobbed about the world on my own, and I just go to do jiu-jitsu somewhere, or I go to an MMA class somewhere, and before you know it, you've got 20 like-minded people around you, like, oh, what are you doing here, blah blah. And they actually really appreciate the fact that you've like chosen to pop into their gym and have a play. So it's a good way. It's always been a really good way to meet people of a similar mind, and you often open up a few doors for yourself.
Yeah, well, straight away it gives you that, that similar interest. You're doing the same thing, and even when you're in gyms, people come and go, and you do the same with them as what they're doing with you. And when you're traveling about and going into gyms, and it's good. I need to get back.
Yeah, it's hard once you get busy. Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky. I'm in the gym every day because it's where I work. But being busy is often the first thing to go, and you have to get that routine going again, don't you?
Yeah, I know that was the thing. It basically was the first thing to go. I think I was fairly regular up until maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and then it just fell to pieces. I think I've been close to my purple belt a dozen times, and then just fucking disappeared for 9 months or 12 months, and went back and had to start again. So I think it was the longest white belt there's ever been in the planet. I think I'm the longest blue belt there's ever been in the planet as well. And,
how long have you had your blue belt for now?
I don't even fucking know, 7 years or something, 2000.
Oh yeah, I had my blue belt for 6 years. So
I could look at Instagram and tell you, but I think it's 2013, 2014. So, yeah, so.
That's funny. You'll get there one day, big boy.
Exactly. Well, I've been white to blue from 2006, to 2013. So there we go.
Oh dear. Sandbagger, we call them, mate, in the business.
Mate. Not doing anything.
So then, Glory.
Yeah, so Glory was the first show that I done 2011, and it was a good show, man. It was excellent. It was one that's like anything. Well, I'm going to say like anything I do that spirals out of control. Originally, we were doing it in a small basketball hall that held. This is the thing. We didn't even know how many people that basketball hall was going to hold when we started fucking selling tickets. We had 2 price points. We had 3 price points with table tickets, seats, and standing. And it took a while. Realistically, it should have went. The first show should have been in 2010, but a couple of things popped up and we pushed it back, and then it ended up going May 2011. And it was matched, compared to what we do now, it was matched ages, fucking miles out. And a lot of the boys in the car were really good ticket sellers, which was good to find out early. There was people moving fucking bulk tickets. And it was back in the days, obviously, that there wasn't. Well, there was social media and social media marketing, but it's nothing like it was now.
Mm.
There were still people, there was phone numbers on the posters and everything, so it was still fielding phone calls. People wanted to buy 5 and 6 tickets at a time, and I would leave my work and go and drop tickets off all over the place. And Soapy would cover for me. If you're listening, Soapy. You're a legend, mate. Soapy would cover for me at work, and I would spend 2 or 3 hours driving about, dropping off tickets and fucking doing all sorts of promotional work, and then come back to the office. And next thing we know, we were 2 weeks out from the show, and we were looking at how many tickets we'd sold and whatnot. And we went down and we had a look at the venue, and we thought, we could probably fit 10 tables in here. And we could maybe fit 200 seats and maybe 100 people standing. And we had something like 24 tables promised to people at this point. We had, I can't even remember how many seats it was. With people were even still asking for like 60 seats at a time still. Some fighters were taking and phoning back up another 60 seats. And we decided, fuck, we're going to have to move. There's absolutely no way we can do anything in here. So we phoned every single venue in the Gold Coast and nobody had availability. We were 8 days out from we were 9 days out from the show. This was a Thursday of the week before. And then Convention Centre, Gold Coast Convention Centre said, yeah, look, they've got availability that day. They'd be keen to do the show, which was pretty cool because there had never been a cage in the Convention Centre at that point in time. So, Glory was going to be the first show, MMA show at the Convention Centre. So we went down and visited with the Convention Centre, and look, it was fucking extortionate. They wanted 24 grand just for the room.
Wow.
Wanted 24 grand just for the room, and that was in 2011. They had nothing booked for it. It was 9 days away, so they knew they weren't going to sell it to anyone else. So done a bit of Scottish negotiating. Got it for a price that everybody, especially us, were happy with. And we moved the show on, that was the Friday. So realistically, by the time we walked out the meeting, it was 7 days notice. We moved the show, full show. So we had to contact everybody that bought fucking tickets. It was...
Wow, yeah.
I was going through my phone, looking at text messages that I'd got from random numbers and just texting them back, asking if they'd bought tickets off me. We've moved the show. We had to put a sign up at the other venue and everything. The show's been moved, and we moved it back half an hour so as that people could get across town from the other venue. Sort your video out, mate. And
someone rang. Keep getting phone calls.
I think we've done 36 tables at that show. 36 or 37 tables and over 1,000 people on the stand.
Where are they now?
Mate, they all just sit at home and watch it on the YouTube or Fight Pass. And look, we didn't have some of the ticket sellers we had in that show. We just don't have people like that anymore. Fucking Isaac Tisdale was on that show, and I think that was the most tickets. I think Glory 2 was the most tickets I think he's ever sold. And you've seen how many tickets he used to sell.
Yeah, he sells a lot of tickets.
I think in Glory 2 he sold much more than that. So yeah, there was a lot of tickets sold. So it was a good show. Then we backed it up 12 months later. We done Glory 2. Yet again, that was another good show. I think put over 2,000 in the convention centre that day, and it was around about 30 tables as well.
Unbelievable.
There's a funny story about that show. Trying to remember the guy's name. Yeah, got his name now. So that was the show that Adam Hollyoak fought on. So,
yeah.
Yes, that's Adam's making his MMA debut in that show, and he phones me this day. I think it was like 2 days before the event, and he had a few tables, and he had a table that had a few empty seats still on it, and he was out with Quade Cooper, who was playing with the Brisbane Reds at that point in time, and Quade Cooper was asking him, I'm Quade Cooper, can you get me in? I'm a celebrity, blah blah blah. So fucking Adam phoned me, and he said, I'm with Quade Cooper. He's going to bring a couple of the Queensland Reds. Is there any chance you could stick him on a table and he'll put it out on social media, or he'll make a shout out to say that he's going to the show, and you'll get the publicity that comes with that. So, what I think about rugby or fucking NRL and all these sports, I'm not really, not too much of a fan. So I thought I would play a little game. So I said, right, you can have the tickets in one condition. When he turns up to the box office, he's got to say, I'm Quade Cooper. I think I'm a bit of a big deal. I hear there's some tickets been put aside for me. If he doesn't say that, he's not getting the tickets. And Adam was kind of laughing. He goes, okay, I'll tell him he's got to say that. So goes to the box office, and on the night I'm putting away the envelopes and door tickets, and I've got his envelope. And I speak to the woman and I tell her, if he comes to collect some tickets, he's got to say, I think I'm a bit of a big deal. I've got some tickets put aside for me. If he doesn't say that, he doesn't get the fucking tickets. So I'm sitting, I'd forgot all about it. I'm sitting cage side, and the night started, and I get a phone call, and it's a girl at the box office. Says he's here to collect his tickets, but he hasn't said what you've said that he's to say. Well, I still give him them. And I was like, no, if he doesn't say what he's been told to say, he's not getting in. So 10 minutes later, I see him sitting at the table with all his mates, and I goes over to say hello, and the boys from the team were sitting there. They thought it was fucking brilliant, the fact that he had to say,
I'm sure not knowing Quade Cooper, but having seen Quade Cooper about the traps, and I'm sure he didn't like that at all. So more power to you, mate.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I know. That's what I like about it. So Glory 2, and then obviously after that, Eternal 1.
Yeah, so decided the popular man, Mr. Vickers. You're going to need to get an update.
People want money off me, that's why.
So then decided I was going to do a show myself. Hit a couple of difficulties as a different. Yourself. It's if you've got a partner in a business, the two of you've got different ideas of it.
Only too well, unfortunately, and that's not with you, but with the past.
About workload. Well, it is with me. With workload, you don't want to do anything to do with building the cage.
I still have to fucking do it. That's the thing. I don't get away with it. I moan about it, but I don't get away with it.
You're probably pretty fucking handy. You probably just get on me. You're retarded with a spanner.
Nah, that's all truth. It's full truth, mate.
Decided to go myself. So amicable split. And Eternal was
You don't have to lie to me, son. Don't lie to the people, mate. It doesn't have to be an amicable split. If it wasn't an amicable split, it wasn't an amicable split. That's all that needs to be said.
Yeah,
you can't lie to the people, Cameron. I won't allow it.
We've made peace since then, and look, there was some difficulties involved, and it's not good to throw mud at people who are going through difficult circumstances. People behave in certain ways when they're under a bit of pressure. So, you know, I appreciate that now at the time, but back then,
yeah.
I probably didn't. In fact, there's a funny story. I nearly missed the very first night on Eternal as well, because I ran out into the car park on Sean with somebody.
Fucking hell.
I was backstage making sure the fight was ready to walk out, and the guy that, you know, who we're good with now, you know, but we ended up having words backstage, and he stormed off and said a couple of things, and I don't let things lie, as you know. And I was like,
well, I feel like you've developed as a person since Eternal 1, and I think nowadays, you know, you're much better. But yeah, back there's still a switch. Everyone's got one. Yours has gotten further and further away from the surface, but it's still definitely there.
It's miles away now, though. Miles.
Yeah, it is. 100% it is. 100% it is. So
Eternal 1, which was, you know, it was a rip-roaring success, you know, probably not financially, but it was some good fights.
Yeah.
You know, look, financially it probably wasn't too bad as a standalone show, but when I look at all the other costs, you know, it did lose money in the first show, but that's probably because it set up a PTY Limited, you know, the PTY Limited set up and had branding costs and all sorts of other things, you know, and rather than pro-rata them across a series of events, you know, I just lumped them all onto the first show. So, yeah, look, and Glory 1 was fantastic, and a really nice twist with
Eternal 1.
Eternal 1 had a really nice twist with the posters and the themes back then. You know, we were definitely trying to keep it still very, you know, similar to the marketing and similar to the artwork that a lot of Japanese companies use, you know, a lot of stuff that Team was doing at the time and Bushido were doing at the time, and Pride. You know, I kept a lot of the posters quite like that. JT Thompson Jamie was doing a lot of that work back then, and he's got that nice little twist in his mind that, you know, he can see something and put a nice little twist on it and make it look pretty funky.
Yeah, I the one behind your head, the Snatch or Lock Stop.
Yeah.
Well, that's my favourite poster ever. Like,
yeah.
Is that the one I'm thinking of?
I don't have it there, but I'll need to get it. I like the first Eternal one with the hand all held together with pins and fucking.
Yeah, I've always loved the artwork, like the Eternal posters, especially in the early days, like you say, when JT he put a bit of thought into it. You know, there was always like I'm not saying that we don't now, because we definitely do, and we've got dedicated people that take care of the artwork, but for back then it was a bit different. You know, it wasn't your cookie cutter, like bunch of heads and fists on a poster of people that, truth be told, no one really knows who the fuck they are. I mean, it's different having John Jones and Francis Ngannou on a poster, because everyone goes, oh, it's John Jones and Francis Ngannou. But when it's Joe Bloggs, Billy Boy and fucking Frankie, everyone's like, who the fuck are these people?
Yeah, well, that's quite relevant what you're saying there as well, because, you know, we're going a completely different way now. I've never liked the Tough Man poster, and you could probably argue that we do quite a few of the Tough Men posters now. You know, two guys standing staring at each other, or, you know, two tough guys standing in a poster next to each other. You know, it was so Americanized, you know, and it was so, you know, it was, you know, there's a fucking system, you stick to it. You know, it wasn't out of the ordinary. It didn't make you do a double take. You know, it wasn't like for example, the Pride 10 poster, you know, with Sakuraba on his knees with some fucking woman standing behind him, rear naked choking him, you know, make you double take.
Yeah.
The first ever Pride Grand Prix poster, which was like sperms, a whole pile of sperms swimming upstream, you know, because it was, when you think about it, it's the Grand Prix, which one's going to get to the end, you know, there can only be one, and there was a lot of thought in them. So I never ever liked the Americanised poster of the two tough guys. But it's definitely got its place now, similar to what you're saying, because of the direction that we're looking to take Eternal. Just with the amount of eyes that are on some of these fighters now in this region, due to the success of obviously other athletes in this region, and the amount of eyes that are on them with Fight Pass, the success of our YouTube channel, you know, the amount of hits that we get all across social media, people are now becoming more and more recognisable to people.
Yeah.
They're racking up, you know, especially the people that we're going to have on the poster. You know, most of them have got double-digit fights now. You know, they should have a nice little following. They should, you know, people should be interested in coming to see them. So we want to make them as marketable as possible. So yeah, for mutual benefit, for their benefit and for our benefit.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and fighters have got to realise that as well. You know, as for the, you know, they should be seeing themselves as a business. Yeah, you like fighting. Yeah, we should be handing you a big bag of cash, but do something to deserve that big bag of cash. You know, make people want to see you. At the end of the day, I think even probably topically just now, Masvidal's out there saying, you know, about how much money Usman's asking for, that he's just ducking. He's ducking fighting Masvidal because he's asking for stupid amounts of money, and the UFC are just turning around and telling him he's not worth it. You know, there's his last pay-per-view was fucking the worst one of last year, etc. The worst one in 12 months or 18 months. And realistically, in this day and age, that's what your price is relevant to now. It's not relevant to what your record is or you know how well you've been doing in the last 12 fights. That's a component of the value of your purse. But the more people that want to watch you, the more money promoters are going to pay you. It's as simple as that, because you're then generating money that can be handed to you. If you're not generating any money, we can't give you what you don't generate. So there is the place for the posters now, and there's nobody that does it better than Emperor that are doing it now for us. You know, some of the marketing campaigns that they're bringing out for us across all social media platforms, the speed at which they're getting some of the information up there, like so when fighters are walking out, you know, we've got a fantastic image taken. It's all bordered off. It's got the supers on it telling you where to see the fight, and it's up on social media telling people to, you know, watch Jack Jenkins, you know, tonight on UFC Fight Pass at 7:30. Fight starting in 5 minutes. You know, they've got that up there for people to see.
Listen, I'm going to stop you because we're short on time. I want you to take your promoter's hat off. Okay. All right, you're always wearing it. Stop fucking promoting for 5 minutes. All right, I want to ask you 3 things. Now to wrap this up. This is about you though. Where do you get your work ethic from? Before you answer the question, let me just give you my give everyone my 2 pennies worth. Like, I have never really worked with anyone who works as hard as you. Like, for me, you're the hardest working man in the sport in this country. Like, I've seen the hours you put in with a full-time job, looking after your kids, blah, 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 or not looking after your kids, as the case may be. But, you know, fulfilling your responsibilities as a parent, fulfilling your responsibilities as a dog owner, which people neglect. But how often does the dog get in the way of you wanting to go somewhere? You know, there's all these little things that people don't take into account, and you still get the job done, apart from the accounts, which we're working on now, which both of us are fucking terrible at. How do you do that? Like, where's that come from? Do you think that's from your parents and that blue-collar upbringing? Or?
Yeah, look, I've always worked really hard at anything that I wanted to be good at or anything that I wanted to do. I can not prioritise. I can see the value in what needs done and things that I want to achieve and what I want to become. And quite often, I'm not the most talented person at that, but it doesn't stop me from wanting to be the best at it. It's as simple as that. And that's been in everything, even from soccer as a young kid. There was that many people in the teams that were more talented than me. But I thought, well, you might fucking work for, you know, 60% of the game, or you might chase 80% of the balls that you don't get, or whatever. I'd chase 100% of the balls. I'd work harder than everybody else, you know, everything that I've always done.
You've never stopped chasing balls, which is interesting.
I've always thought that I've seen that many people, and there's a couple of things I have been talented in and I haven't worked at, and that's probably hit the switch as well. You know, the harder you work, it's no, you know, Alex Ferguson, I think he stole the saying from somebody else as well. I remember somebody saying to him when Man United, I think they scored a couple of goals late against Bayern Munich in a European Cup game, and then they got to the final of Champions League. No, they'd won the Champions League off the back of it. They'd scored a couple of goals late in another game, and they'd won the English Premier League because of it. And commentator asked him, interviewed him, and says, "You're going through a real lucky patch at the moment, Alex. You not think that's, you know, it's really good. You know, you've done this, you've done that." And Alex Ferguson always said, "Look, I'd rather be lucky than good." And he said it tongue in cheek because it was based off the back of something else that he said, which was basically, the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
It's as simple as that. So, look, I don't quit at anything, you know, which is probably why my face has got all these fucking scars and marks on it. You know, I should probably have quit a few times earlier than what I did, and my hands are all bashed up, and my legs don't work too well, but I don't quit at anything. You know, I just keep going, and eventually it'll come good. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And it's
But what's driving that?
It's a mix of both pride and ego. It's more pride now. It used to be ego. You know, it used to be ego. I used to hate the fact that somebody else would be thought of as being better at something than me. And I'd just think, well, I'll just fucking outwork them until I'm better than them. And that was an ego thing because I wanted to be thought of better than somebody else. I wanted somebody else to place me on a pedestal ahead of somebody else. But that's now turned into a pride thing. I don't really give a fuck what anybody else thinks. And it's now, I just want to know myself that I'm doing a better job than other people, and I'm producing a better product, or I'm better at whatever I do than what somebody else is. You know, and I failed fucking a million times at a million things that I do. You know, I failed fucking 5, 6, 10 times trying to do the same task. But I'll never ever quit doing it. I'll always go back and go back and go back until I get it right. It's as simple as that. So, you know, I think it's just like a pride thing now. Possibly ego before, but I think it's a pride thing now as well.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it's ego driven now. I don't think that at all. What is your favourite eternal memory?
Oh, that's a tough one, no, because there is so many. No idea.
You could bullet point a few, like short version, not cam version, like short version of a couple of things that stand out for you.
Obviously, finishing the first show, you know, having the first one, that's obviously, you know, that was us kicked off, the show went ahead, you know, everybody paid, which was a big thing back then. There was so much competition in 2012, especially in South East Queensland. You know, there was that many shows. It really was dog eat dog. Back then, the landscape's changed so much now. South East Queensland was probably where 90% of the shows were in Australia. So getting that show, getting a fight card on that show, and getting it in the books and getting everybody paid was obviously a great memory. But no, I've got so many. I've got so many good memories. Seeing Casey get her first win, you know, my own daughter, obviously she went 0-2 and copped a bit of flack from people who were round about on her team who were very, very critical for no reason other than to make themselves sound good. And to see her never quit, you know, to have the exact same attitude as me. Casey's fucking works so hard, it's unbelievable. She wants it so bad, and she's got so much talent. I even knew back then she had so much talent. And for her to go 0-2 and fucking just bite down in the mouth guard and you know, keep working away and then come back and get a win. That was a fantastic memory and a fantastic moment. That's probably one of my other best one, my other favourite memories. I've got some real good ones as well. You know, I think every single Coolangatta show, every Coolangatta show was fucking. It was a different time then. We were doing it for different reasons.
We're doing it for fun.
Yeah, there was no pressure. You know, there was no pressure. And they were, you know, we could actually enjoy it then. You know, I still enjoy it, but it's a different type of enjoyment.
Yeah, that one show where Ryan fought Quinton, and I had my best mate over from the UK. And we stayed the next day and hung out in Coolangatta and watched the fights and went surfing. It was just an amazing weekend. That will rank up there with the best ever for me.
I think I've got to say that one of my funniest eternal memories is watching Wayne trying to surf.
It won't be as funny to anyone else because you just won't get it, but you'd have to see him.
Watching him cuddling that fucking surfboard.
And I'm talking a surfboard. It was like a 10-footer. It wasn't a small surfboard.
No, that was
that was good. That was a great weekend. That was.
And obviously, our Melbourne show last year was fairly special. That was the first full pro show, first UFC Fight Pass show, and the first Victoria show as well. So, you know, it was a good memory as well. It was a good show as well. Yeah,
Melbourne's up there for me too. That would probably be my favourite. Actually, eternal memory, as not only was it our first Fight Pass show, first show in Melbourne, first full pro card. I also had 3 fighters on the card. Jack Della defended his belt. Mitch Martin defended his belt. Mini T, Daniel Williams won. So we went 3 for 3. It was just a great night. And actually, it got soured for me by, I'm not going to throw this person under the bus, but at the end of the show, there was a bit of a palaver.
Yeah.
And it cost me all the ability to go and celebrate with my team. Like, I missed all of that. Because of this person, and having to deal with the histrionics and the drama and that shit. So, you know, it's bittersweet, but I'll never forget. Like, it was also the first outing as Scrappy MMA. So it was our first, like. So yeah, that was big. Like, that was a big show for us as Eternal, and a big show for us personally, because obviously Casey won as well.
Yeah, she was fighting an unbeaten prospect from Japan that was highly touted over there. You know, so. You know.
Yeah, it's a big night for us. Big night for us, that, and I. Yeah, that'll always stand up there as one of the best.
I think it sums up the crew that we've got round about. It was the next morning. So the next morning we're down at the venue pulling the cage down, and Casey, who was fighting the night before, Mini T, who was fighting the night before. I think Mitch as well.
Mitch and his missus Stacey turned up.
Casey and Robin all turned up to help us pull the cage down. So
yeah, unbelievable.
And Robin's probably the unsung hero of Eternal. She's making Robin and Jasmine to make everything work in the background.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. Yeah, cool. I think that'll do. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything else you want to add?
That's probably us for today. I've got a couple of things to do tonight, and we've been on for an hour. So.
Yeah, I've got more clients, more classes tonight. We're back in the gym. The gyms are rocking and rolling over here in WA, which is really good. It's so good to be back teaching people and abusing people in the gym, like face to face instead of online. I felt like a troll for the last 10 months abusing people online because I never do it.
You looked like a troll for the last 10 years.
40 years, mate. 40 years. So yeah, it's been really good to have the crew back in the gym and start building the numbers up again. And the future's bright. And I think hopefully, you know, September time, we should be looking at having Eternal back on again as well. So
yeah, well, you know, just you know, aside from obviously it being your main business, having Scrappy MMA up and running again, but just from Promoters Hat going back on, you know, just seeing people getting back into the gym and seeing gyms opening back up, even taking off, you know, it's not being compassionate towards gym owners. I don't mean I'm not compassionate towards gym owners, but I'm not going from that angle. But from a promoter's angle, seeing people getting into the gym and training again, you know, makes us think that we can get back to business pretty soon. And what is probably going to be a very, very different landscape than what it was in the last, that we've been used to. I think there's definitely going to be restrictions in crowd numbers for the rest of this year. It's probably going to make it very difficult for some people to operate if the only income that you've got is from 100 people coming through the door. I think it's going to be very difficult for pro shows to operate. There might be amateur shows might be able to scale it and have numbers that will cover their costs, but I think pro shows are going to struggle for a little while.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting, the finish of 2020, but we'll get there, mate. We'll get there. We always do, like we always, it's not always the most smooth ride, but we always deliver in the end. So I'm confident that we'll finish 2020 as strongly as we started it. And
look, we've had many a talk the last couple of weeks, and I think we've definitely got the right idea. We've definitely got a couple of plans in place that we can, if we can get started again, we're going to deliver a good product at a good time when there's been a dearth of sports broadcasting, so people should hopefully lap it up.
Yeah, and you heard it here first. We will not water down our events. Will continue. The quality will continue to rise. So we're not going to water anything down. We're not going to cheapen anything because we're on restrictions or anything like that. When Eternal comes back, it comes back better than 52. 53 will be better than 52.
And look, we will have a minimum of 3 events this year. We will have a minimum of 6. I haven't discussed that with you yet, but we will have.
100%. No,
we will have a minimum of 6 this year.
Yeah, there'll be at least 3 more Eternals this year, at least.
At least. So there we go. I'm spending a lot of time in the office, which I haven't done for a long time. I haven't done for the last 10 weeks. This week I've probably put in, 8, 16, maybe 32 to between 32 and 36 hours in the office this week. The last time I'd done that was probably March. So we're back.
Well,
we're back up again.
Don't let me keep you. Yeah. Those accounts ain't going to do themselves, mate.
Well, fucking get a hold of your invoices, mate, and send them through.
Hey, come on. Don't air your dirty laundry in public. All right, mate. Thanks. It's been good to dig a bit deeper into old Cam, mate.
Imagine putting me in the spot like that. Jesus Christ.
Well, you can get your own back next time, all right?
You can't answer questions like that. I might need a job at some point in time.
Yeah, you can get me back.
Right, speak to you later on. Cheers.
All right, mate. Take it easy.